It is Tuesday at 4 o'clock. We got a lot to get to. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence, and we're actually going to start at 4 with a developing story that we've been following all day from the near north side.
Big police presence involving local officers and federal law enforcement as well. They all descended on a house this morning with a search warrant.
Rich Nye spent the day trying to learn who and what police were looking for.
Indianapolis Metro Police say that detectives served an arrest warrant while a search warrant was executed at this house on North Tacoma Avenue. This is on the near northeast side of Indianapolis, near 34th and Keystone. Officers from multiple agencies, including Homeland Security investigations, showed up about 6:30 Tuesday morning. Broken glass at the front door and busted entrances and basement windows seem to indicate that this location was raided with force.
When police raided this house Tuesday morning, they brought a bulldozer, which came around the back of a neighbor's house to approach the rear of the house. You can see the damage that was left in the neighbor's yard.
A neighbor told me she has been concerned for some time about activity at the house and many people coming and going all through the night. Police searched the home and vehicles parked in front of the house. Our cameras saw at least 3 people detained. IMPD arrested 26-year-old Joseph Marquez Santos on 2 valid warrants, a warrant out of Hamilton County on a probation violation for a conviction of possession of a narcotic, and a second warrant for an Indiana parole violation. Marquez Santos just got out of prison last year after violating probation in a 2022 Marion County case for stealing a gun, domestic battery, and resisting law enforcement. Federal Homeland Security has not provided any additional information on its involvement with the raid. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Matthew Foltz here. Right now, Metro Police are trying to figure out what exactly led up to a car going into this retention pond shortly after midnight Tuesday morning on the city's northeast side along Pendleton Way. Now, we're learning that 28-year-old Deshaun Sims and his 2 children were in that car that went underwater into the pond. IMPD officers jumped in to save the 2 children who are recovering, but their father, Deshaun, died. Family members tell me off camera that Deshaun was a good father, brother, son, and nephew. They tell me he was loved by so many people and will be missed. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out how and why their car went into the pond. Family members tell me they believe it was accidental.
All right, let's take a live look downtown Indy on this Tuesday afternoon. Sean mentioned it a few minutes ago. We were going to have some weather whiplash here. Comfortable in the 50s for January, but
here
not
comes
gonna last
Felicia.
long.
I was just going to say it's just going to take us on a little ride.
Yeah,
We've seen worse.
Buckle up.
We've been prepared for worse,
Yeah.
so we'll be ready this time.
You know, this
My
is
positivity.
I like your attitude.
That's
Wow.
my positivity, and I'm sticking to it
Okay,
in
all right.
2026.
Where are you and what have you done with it?
No kidding.
Wait, I'm usually positive.
Well,
Yes.
she's got a sled for baby Teddy that
Oh,
she needs to use.
okay.
I do. I
Okay.
actually told Sean this. I was like, I haven't used this sled yet. He needs at least one good snow.
Well, we need one. Let's see if we can get one here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have chances. I will definitely tell you that. It's a pretty busy pattern that's ahead of us, starting with this front that's coming in. This will be the temperature tumble for us. It may be more of a gradual as we go from near 50 right now. Down into the 20s by this time tomorrow afternoon. Not a surprise. We told you about that north wind coming off the lake. Winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, where the heaviest snow will be just a few counties right along there. Downwind of Lake Michigan. Could get some 4 to 8 inch totals. Now, it's possible, depending on, there's going to be 1 or 2 dominant bands setting up. How far south and exactly where they go. If you're watching us in Kokomo, it's possible 2-3 inches of snow. You got a better chance of that, I believe, in Peru. But heads up in Hartford City and Muncie and Richmond. We see this often, depending on that wind vector. These bands can actually make it well south of I-70 and get down toward the Ohio River. So this is what we're expecting. This will be for later tomorrow night, and early Thursday morning. We could have some school disruptions, at least in parts of the state. More on that and the several snow chances in the 7-day here in just a little bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean. And a big grant from the Lilly Endowment will make a big difference for a small school here in Indianapolis.
We're talking about the Independence Academy, which is a school specifically designed for students with autism, and it's about to expand. Our Ella Rhodes is on this story for us today. She joins us now with what she learned. Ella?
Hi, Dustin and Felicia. The Independence Academy received a $1.5 million from the Lilly Endowment. The school says with this money, they will build a multi-use space for a gym, auditorium, cafeteria, and therapy area for the students. So the school currently teaches around 65 students, all students on the spectrum between grades 3 through 12, with about 6 to 10 children per class. The school not only tailors the curriculum to every student's individual needs, they teach them life skills, including communication skills and how to regulate their emotions, all while in a sensory-friendly environment. So if a child does feel overwhelmed, they have the resources they need to support them. The school's executive director, Marissa Gill, says this is the largest grant the school has received in its history.
It really is going to check off a lot of the boxes of what we need for our students, and it really is going to help to facilitate all of the many things we're trying to provide for our students.
Gill says the academy will still need to fundraise for the expansion, but the grant covers a large part of the cost. Also, there's very few schools like this across the state, so she was telling me that some families drive up to 45 minutes to take their children there. So they're all just very grateful for this grant.
Yeah, I can't imagine not only being a faculty member there, but also for the parents whose kids go there.
Everyone's looking for resources for their kids.
Exactly.
Certainly.
Exactly. And you'll actually hear from one of the parents ahead at 5:30 about just how important this school is to them.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Ella.
you.
Thanks for bringing us that.
We are counting down to the big game. Of course, we're talking about IU and Miami and the national championship. There's the countdown clock. As you know, we love a good countdown.
There we
6
go.
days, 3 hours to go. You know, this team, when you think about it, the whole season, they've really not backed down from a challenge.
And
at all,
they've not
ever.
knocked it out the park every single time. I guess I needed a football reference instead of baseball, but they've been on the winning end of every matchup to this point.
There you go. Eli Gayton has more today on why they feel confident they can do it again.
National Championship Week is here. Indiana, Miami going toe-to-toe in Miami on Monday for that national championship crown. The Hoosiers have been used to some big stages over the last few weeks. Their last 3 games, they've seen confetti fall down on them. They've stood on a podium and held up a trophy to keep advancing in this college football playoff. They are 15-0, a chance to be the first team ever to go 16-0 in a single season. And this is once again another moment this team will be ready for.
You know, the last probably 2 months has been a lot of highs for us. And then, you know, there's been some lows in there too, but it's all about, you know, take it, enjoy it for the moment, and then move on. And I think when you get in the postseason especially, that's how you have to live. You know, we took the 24 hours after the Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl, to enjoy it, and you're on to the next thing. And I think that's why, you know, we just keep moving forward. You know, we're not satisfied with anything. We just want to, you know, earn more opportunities to play with each other, earn more opportunities to prove ourselves as a team and as individuals. And I think that's just how you got to keep moving to be successful.
So the team will head down to the Sunshine State later this week. We're going to continue to have you covered all weekend right here over the air on Channel 13, as well as digitally on WTHR+. Indiana versus Miami Monday night for the national championship. In Bloomington, covering the Hoosiers, I'm Eli Gain for 13 Sports.
Wow, it's always so tense when you get this far because you know both teams are deserving. Both teams
absolutely.
have worked hard and gone far and had a story.
Great season
but
for both.
only one of them is undefeated.
And only one of them we've heard over and over and over and over again how they just don't have a weakness per se. Maybe a little vulnerability here and there like Jake Query from 107.5 The Fan talked about on Monday. But so far, they've not shown any reason why they can't beat this team.
Yeah, the team.
Not to get ahead of ourselves.
And there's only one team that we actually care about. So WTHR is pulling out all the stops for the national championship.
That's right. We got our sports team there. Dom and Eli will be down there. Samantha Johnson and I are also going to be live in Miami starting Friday. We are looking forward to it.
Look, there's your face.
Oh, yeah. How about that? I gotta start packing.
I know.
Shorts. I think some shorts.
I was going to say, are you taking a suit and tie?
No.
Okay.
No suit and tie on this trip.
We'll see.
No. Unless it's a Hoosier tie.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
a little cream and crimson.
That could work.